We hold Billy too there. Okay, Bill, come
Ladies
on
and gentlemen,
around.
please hold it quiet.
Okay, that's the shot.
Thank you for ripping a ticket to another installment of Hellhound Film Club. I'm your host, Cody Pope, and this is my co-host,
Danny Dodds.
And as we truly are every time we do this, we're thrilled to introduce tonight's panel and special feature. So get your popcorn and let the credits roll. First to our panel for the evening is the return of a longtime friend of the show. You've seen him in countless episodes of our revival of Hellhound Film Club, as well as multiple appearances on Cody Central. He's an independent filmmaker who just returned home after being on a gig out in sunny San Bernardino, California for the last month, following a recent win at the Nashua Public Library Tiny Film Contest, serving as a shooting and rigging grip on the new Apple TV series Widow's Bay, out now, and has audiences anxiously awaiting his new short, Joey's Big Reveal, arriving later this year. Please welcome Tyler LaPlant. Next to the panel tonight from episode 1 and others of the Hellhound Film Club revival, a local freestyle artist, personal stylist, and owner of Infinite Encounters Oracle. Please welcome Elliot Universe to the program. Last but not least to the panel is another frequent ticket holder at Hellhound Film Club, creative assistant at Dimes Media, a frequent New England concert and film traveler. Please welcome our dear friend, Jess Cantwell.
And as always, thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. We're grateful to be here with another special installment of Hellhound Film Club. But before we get too deep, first things first. As always, tonight, we are live from the spot in downtown Nashua, New Hampshire.
One of New Hampshire's first dry bars and Gate City's most interesting entertainment lounge, featuring a delicious selection of premium mocktails, kava, coffee, tea, and more. In addition to the late night menu featuring delicious eats available now, courtesy of the one and only Nashua, New Hampshire staple, Joanne's Kitchen.
So check us out here for Hellhound Film Club Live, free movie nights and podcast recording on Wednesday nights at 217 Main Street, Nashua, New Hampshire, when tickets get ripped at 7 p.m.
And exciting reminder, we're going to be continuing to pull random winners before the end of each episode. One commenter from last week's main video will receive a prize and will have 24 hours to claim it via email. And one of these random attendees here from our live recording is going to have a chance to win a prize each week as well. All you got to do is just comment on the videos or show up in person to double your chances if you're in the area. And we got a special prize for tonight. You want to tell them a little about it while here we go.
So this is a custom 12 by 8 Robert Zemeckis.
18, sorry, 12 by 18.
12 by 18. 12 by 18. Custom made poster by our one and only man right here, Cody Pope. And if you know anything about this man's movies, it's got some great, beautiful scenes captured in it to reflect his career.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's a one-of-one poster. It's 12 by 18, framed, custom designed by me. Has a bunch of stills from movies from Robert Zemeckis' catalog. And it also has like the date and info to commemorate us doing our screening of the movie that we watched tonight, which we will talk about more in a little bit. So
stay tuned till the end of the episode to find out who the winner in person is for this week, as well as the YouTube comment winner from last week's video.
Now, for our conversation tonight, we're celebrating another true pioneer of cinema, someone who has left an indelible mark on the art of filmmaking, a man who has explored boundless innovation in technology and has a catalog of films that will be discussed in the pantheon of cinema for ages to come, including such works as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Forrest Gump, the Back to the Future trilogy, Castaway, and dozens more. Tonight, we embark upon a conversation celebrating one of the most influential American filmmakers. Please join us for our Robert Zemeckis appreciation.
Born on May 14, 1951, Robert Zemeckis grew up in a working-class family in the south side of Chicago, where as a child he gained a deep admiration for film early, as his parents often filmed family events around the house. And such with an 8mm camera, Zemeckis' experience with different films and media projects throughout childhood, and after seeing Bonnie and Clyde as a teenager with his father, he decided right then and there that he wanted to go to film school. As a result of winning the Student Academy Award at USC for his film, A Field of Honor, Zemeckis came to the attention of Steven Spielberg. Spielberg said,
"He barged right past my secretary and sat me down and showed me this student film. And I thought it was spectacular, with police cars and a riot, all dubbed to Elmer Bernstein's score for The Great Escape."
Spielberg became Zemeckis' mentor and executive produced his first two films, both of which writing partners Bob Gale and Zemeckis co-wrote.
Spielberg went on to produce Zemeckis' first two features, I Want to Hold Your Hand and Used Cars, which, while both garnering critical acclaim, were far from commercial success.
After the failure of his first two films, along with the Spielberg-directed 1941 in 1979, written by Gale and Zemeckis, the pair gained a reputation for writing quotes,
scripts that everyone thought were great, but somehow didn't translate into movies people wanted to see.
As a result of his reputation within the industry, Zemeckis had trouble finding work in the early 1980s, though he and Gale kept busy. They wrote scripts for other directors, including Carpool for Brian De Palma and Growing Up for Spielberg, neither of which ended up getting made.
Another Zemeckis-Gale project, once titled Spaceman from Pluto, now known to us as Back to the Future, about a teenager who travels back in time to the 1950s, was turned down by every major studio. The director was jobless until Michael Douglas hired him in 1984 to direct Romancing the Stone.
A romantic adventure starring Douglas and Kathleen Turner, Stone was expected to flop, to the point that after viewing a rough copy of the film, the producers of then Inkworks Cocoon actually fired Zemeckis as a director. But the film became a sleeper hit. While working on Romancing the Stone, Zemeckis met
Composer Alan
composer, I got that. And then that last name got me for a second. My head went too fast.
No worries, that's Alan Silvestri.
So Alan Silvestri, who was scored all of his suspenseful pictures. After the success of Romancing the Stone, Zemeckis has the clout needed to get Back to the Future off the ground, finally to a resounding commercial and critical success.
From 1985 to 1999, Zemeckis reached an unimaginable level of notoriety and career breakthrough. In this time, he embarked upon the iconic, innovative, and at the time, one of the most expensive movies ever made, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which earned him 3 Academy Awards, followed by 2 more sequels to the Back to the Future trilogy and the inimitable Forrest Gump, just a couple years after Back to the Future 3. During this time period, from 1989 to 1996, Zemeckis also served as an executive producer on the beloved HBO series Tales from the Crypt.
I love that film.
I know. I wish I had brought. I have all 7 series on DVD. I would have literally just laid them all out.
I sat here and watched them all night.
Right? True that.
All night. Following this time, he started developing on and eventually shot back-to-back the thrilling What Lies Beneath and the legendary Castaway with Tom Hanks.
Because Hanks's character needed to undergo a dramatic weight loss over the course of the Castaway, retitled just Castaway for release, Zemeckis decided that the only way to retain the same crew while Hanks lost the weight was to shoot What Lies Beneath in between.
He shot the first part of Castaway in early 1999 and shot What Lies Beneath in fall of 1999, completing work on the former in early 2000. Zemeckis later quipped when asked about shooting 2 films back to back.
I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Zemeckis was always one to hone and innovate the technology use of filmmaking, and with the rise of computer animation in the 2000s, Zemeckis was surely pushing to be ahead of the curve in many different facets of production. In this time, he collaborated once again with Tom Hanks for The Polar Express, the first film to ever use motion capture technology.
Afterwards, he experienced a series of critical highs and lows with works from A Christmas Carol, Beowulf, Welcome to Marwen, Flight, The Walk, and more. Nevertheless, even to this day, he is recognized as an innovator in visual effects and has a catalog of films that are revered and lauded decades later in the annals of film history.
And as always, we never know who's going to be on our panel, is going to be with us for the evening. So for these nights, we were highlighting a special artist. We have to pick a singular film and hope for the uninitiated that it will resonate and excite them enough to join the discussion afterwards.
For our free movie night feature, we've examined one of the most revered movies of all time, a film that broke so many creative and technical boundaries that it could never be replicated the same way again. Critically acclaimed, 22-time award-winning, National Film Preservation Board inducted, historical landmark of cinema, and one of the movies that shaped my childhood personally, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, released theatrically in the United States on June 24th, 1988. In this live-action animation hybrid, set in 1940s Los Angeles, animated cartoon characters, or toons, coexist with humans, often working as film stars. Maroon Cartoon Studios owner R.K. Maroon, upset about the recent poor performance of his toon star Roger Rabbit, hires private detective Eddie Valiant, a depressed, toon-hating alcoholic, to investigate rumors that Roger's glamorous toon wife Jessica is having an affair with Marvin Acme, owner of both the Acme Corporation and Toontown, the animated metropolis in which toons reside.
After watching Jessica perform at the Ink and Paint Club, Eddie secretly photographs her and Acme playing patty cake. He shows the pictures to Roger, who becomes distraught and flees, refusing to believe Jessica was unfaithful. The next morning, Acme is found murdered, and evidence of the scene implicates Roger.
I just gotta give it up for Roger Rabbit.
I have such a joke here right now. Why is it always Jessica's in the middle of the problem?
Oh, cold-blooded. Danny, you a fool for that one. Oh.
I said Jessica. I didn't say Jess.
That's right.
Well, you guys got the couple-hour car ride home, not us. So wishing you all the best.
You'll be sleeping, I promise.
True. So I got to adjust the format a little bit than
First time
usual.
you've seen the Zemeckis movie?
We've all seen this before tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay, that kind of goes without saying.
Oh. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Shots fired.
It's my first full watch through.
Wait, is it?
Hold on, get out of here. This was your first time seeing this?
Yeah, all the way through. Yeah.
From beginning to end?
Yo!
no
Oh
shit.
my god, I love that.
I'm actually kind of shocked by that. I'm surprised. Like,
That makes I'm so sad I didn't bring I have a Roger Rabbit plush from the 80s. I wish I brought it tonight.
Yeah, my dad put this on like when I was a kid, and there's parts of this that I really, really remember very well, but not. I don't know. I had to have been like 5 or 6 when he put it on. So yeah, it's my first full watch through of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's awesome.
Here you go, bro.
I remembered to turn off the music this time.
And still found new things about this movie that I caught this round.
Well, let me lead into this then. How did this rewatch make you feel this time around?
The rewatch of this particular time, especially with life experiences, has made me reevaluate some of the characters.
I
Because
can,
I'm going to be honest, when I was younger and I watched this, I wasn't really an Eddie Valiant fan.
ooh, okay.
I just thought he was like
The guy that's mean to Roger.
yeah, the mean guy to Roger that just happens to be his friend now because of circumstances. But you know what? Now that I'm older in life, things happen that make you a little bitter and get underneath your skin.
Yeah.
And may drive you to feel certain ways. So
And that's a pretty crazy thing to have happen to you too.
right. So like I didn't really like when I was younger like get the whole concept. I just thought he was the drunken mean guy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That'd be like if Batman killed one of my family members or something.
Right.
It's like I'd be in Gotham City with a flamethrower. Like, you know.
But
Um,
it was just, and it was also kind of fun. It was kind of weird because now that I'm a little older, some of the things that I found funny as a kid, I didn't find so funny now. But some of the innuendos I found funnier now, but I didn't understand them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So like, it was kind of funny, like to see like my humor basically kind of change a little bit. So it was a really enjoyable rewatch.
Right. That's cool to like parallel how your humor evolves and matures with a movie that just like is evergreen and just continues to be great for what it is. It's like, I don't know, I find that interesting to see like, oh, what is the dichotomy of when these things like parallel for us? You know, like at what age are we like on the same wavelength as these people and get it?
Like I still found it funny in the movie.
Yeah.
But I did not find it as funny when I was a little kid when Roger and Jessica are tied up and Eddie's doing his little song and he turns around and he's like bouncing off the walls and then he doesn't say anything and then Roger's like, "Oh, I kick you in the," and Roger's like, "Nose," and that doesn't rhyme with wall, and then he kicks him in.
But this does.
Yes, like when I was a kid, I absolutely died every time that scene came up, and like this watch, like I chuckled at it, but like it wasn't as funny as like a 9-year-old little boy would think. Like getting kicked in the balls would be, you know.
Yeah.
Like now I'm like, damn, I bet you that hurt. Like he punted for the moon on that one.
Jess, let me ask you, do you remember about what age you were the last time that you got to watch this through?
The first time I watched it through?
The last time you got to watch this
last
through.
time. Oh, gosh. It has to be over 10 years. Like, it's been a long time since the last time I watched this.
Okay.
But I watched it a lot as a kid.
Yeah. But the last time doesn't like stick out to you in
Not-
particular.
No, I can't even
Okay.
remember where I was.
How did this time make you feel rewatching this, kind of knowing what we were getting into?
It was like feeling nostalgia all over again, and I feel the same way Danny does. Is some of the same jokes that I thought was like hilarious as a kid. I was like, oh, it's still really funny, but oh, I also get those jokes now. I'm like, oh, okay, got it. I will say that the part where the villain is being beaten up or whatever, you know, the getting what he deserves, still equally as terrifying today as it was when I was a child. The part where he's peeling himself off. Oh, I hated that part. And I was like, yeah, I remember that being terrifying.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah.
Elliot, what about you? Do you remember like the last time that you got to watch this?
Watched it in my late 20s.
Okay.
But aside from that, when I was a kid, I watched this over and over and over again.
How did this make you feel this time around?
I mean, I got a lot more of the jokes that I didn't get back then, so that was pretty fun. I enjoyed it just as much as I did back then. But also, I'm just really happy because this is the movie that we wanted over when we first connected, and I talked about going on the show in the first place. So it means a lot to me.
I love that. So this was your first time watching this through. That's incredible. That's incredible. So let me kind of switch it up a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm not looking directly at you. It's just my back of the head.
Yeah.
what was your perception of this movie before going into it tonight?
So, from what I remember it being very, heavy with innuendo. Really like a very thinly veiled child's movie where it's mostly for the adults. I feel like. Also I'm being like a big film nerd, like just the technical aspects of how they made this movie has always been really, really fascinating to me. So I'm coming into this with like a heavy knowledge, not heavy knowledge, but like a good amount of knowledge of like how they pulled off some of these tricks or like the early sort of like green screen stuff that they do, like comp work and I'm sure you have time for like more technical stuff because this movie's like crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, but I didn't even know this was your first time watching it, so it's cool to hear how it affects you.
This is definitely a movie that I'm like, within the cultural zeitgeist that I'm very familiar with. I never actually fully watched all the way through.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I love that. I'm glad that it was here at Film Club. That makes me happy. So let me switch up from the questions here a little bit. And if you don't have one, it's okay because we're gonna keep this thing going. Do you have a favorite film from Robert Zemeckis?
Back to the Future 2.
Ooh, I like that I like that you had a specific. Can you give me a little brief rundown as to why?
The hoverboard.
Okay.
The hoverboard. The concept of the future, the whole the Reebok pumps, the jackets that you push a button and they all of a sudden they just fit you like all the forming. Also, just because I'm a big gambler, the whole idea through the movie of like going to the future and getting the book of all the sports and then bringing it back in time.
Crazy.
That just hits a nerve with me. I'm like, could please somebody do that for me? But it also starts with the ending of 1 where Doc goes, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah.
And then that leads into the 2 with the whole flying cars, the hoverboard, the microwave that you put like the dehydrated in and it then becomes like a full meal. The idea of the video conferencing that they used in it where he gets fired and then a fax comes through like firing him. Just kind of like at the time when that movie came out, some of the technology things that they were like referencing to seemed so far-fetched, but here we are today.
Yeah.
And those ideas are now history for us. Like
even the Nike Air Mags, dude.
Right.
When they made the Nike Air Mags,
right.
People were buying those for like 4 or 5 figures.
Yeah, and they still are.
It was insane, dude. But they were pretty sick.
Right.
Like, even as a retired sneakerhead, like, those are pretty cool.
Like, I'm not like a skateboarder or anything, like a skateboarder or anything, but I'll tell you right now, if a hoverboard came out, I'm buying one of those bitches.
Well, and now I hate that they call those things hoverboards that have wheels. Like those little
single wheel. That single wheel, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? But you'll see them marketed as hoverboard and it's like you're not hovering, you're just on 2 wheels and you hope you don't hit a crack in the sidewalk. I don't understand that technology. But Jess, let me ask you, do you have like a favorite Robert Zemeckis movie? Is there something that like strikes a chord with you?
I think it would actually have to be this movie.
Okay.
It's almost a tie between this and the Back to the Future. So
okay.
The first time seeing Back to the Future was actually because I watched them all in like one run. Was actually like 9 years ago. I maybe saw
Let's go.
I saw like little clips here and there, but I've never watched them all the way through. And my husband was like, "What do you mean you've never seen them?" And so he's like, "Guess what we're doing tonight?" And he just puts them on. And
like, that's so good.
Phenomenal. But both of those, those movies and then Roger Rabbit, they're just, they both are.
I like that. Honestly, when people's when people like something or have an affection to something because of an experience they had with it, it almost like makes it so much better.
It does.
Like somebody could tell me that they like a shitty band, like a band that I think is shitty rather, but then they'll be like, I didn't know who they were. Somebody brought me to the show and I saw them live and like, and it's like,
What are you talking about?
you saw great bands.
I did.
If anybody ever called the bands you saw with your friend shitty,
Right?
it'd be a riot scene. But that's what I'm saying is like, you know what I mean? Like you might not understand somebody's like taste in or even a movie, for example. Movies as well. Like it's a little harder now because the price of going out is a little more. So I think people are a little more methodical about what they're going to go see. But like, there was a time in my life growing up where it was like you would just go to the movie and like pick something off the wall. Sometimes you'd be like, we just want to go to the movies. Or like I can read, not to be like aging myself, but like I can remember opening the Telegraph, the newspaper, and you would go to the section that had all the different local theaters show times, and you would just be like, oh, that sounds crazy. Like let's go do that.
I used to, where I lived, the theater had 6 rooms in it.
Sheesh,
And each one
ballin'.
would be a different movie.
Yeah,
So we would go and bring one die with us.
that's cool. I like that.
Whatever number it landed on, that was the number theater that we were going in. That was the movie we were watching.
Man, I like
Because we were
that.
getting in for like, I think it was like $3 on a Friday night to go watch a movie. So we all get together and hang out.
Oh, I love that.
So we just go roll the die and like, oh, theater 6, that's what we're watching. But it sucks some weeks. You go 3-3 and you're like, we really gonna watch the same movie in a row? Like, but the die said we were going to. And,
Damn,
like, there was
that's
like
crazy.
times over it.
Dude, that's wild.
Those were the early years for Danny Sorkin.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And now we know how things came to be.
That was Monopoly when I was 6.
It all got triggered somewhere.
10 cents to the dollar.
Elliot, I guess first things first, do you have a favorite Robert Zemeckis movie? Is there a movie that comes to mind that you can think of from his catalog that really... Okay. You never saw like Forrest Gump?
No, I've seen lots of pop culture references, but I've never sat down and watched it. So
What about What Lies Beneath with
Polar Express.
what's that?
I've seen Polar Express. Yeah.
Yep.
But that's
Yep.
not my favorite over this.
No, that's totally fair.
This is too. Castaway.
Yep, Polar Express he did, and it's the first ever movie to use motion capture.
I saw that in IMAX.
in case-
Actually, at,
In case people don't know, what is motion capture?
So, thank you for asking that. Danny didn't have a microphone, so he broke the fourth wall, but what he asked was, what is motion capture? Motion capture technology started in the early 2000s, and what it did was they used these sensors that they put onto actors. It was like almost like little stickers, and it would allow the camera to track their motion, so a real person could act a scene out. For example, like Lord of the Rings is another great one. There's a real person plays Gollum, and so an actor like did all them creepy crawly moves and stuff like that, and then they were able to use computer generation to put the layers on top of the actual human actor. And so like I said, Polar Express was really the first time that they did an entire movie utilizing that technology.
basically the digital version of rotoscoping.
Very fair.
And most people would know that now also. That's how all your sports games are made. So if you play any type of sport video games, your favorite players went in, they wore a gigantic black suit with little balls and dots all over them, and they captured their guys. So that's how it's in the game now.
And so think about it, right? Roger Rabbit, 1988. Polar Express, 2000, I believe, or like first couple of years, if not 2000. In 1988, he's revolutionizing the way that animation is implemented into live action. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen like behind the scenes of what they did to make Roger Rabbit, for example, but it was an unprecedented like composition process where they would use like a foam doll, and the actors would be acting to a foam doll, and the voice actor for Roger would be dressed in costume, standing off camera, doing the voice to the actual actors while they're just talking to a puppet that's like, just blank and flopping. And then they were able to remove that and then animate. They actually like drew in all of those animated characters. And so you're filming scenes, editing that footage, and then getting animators to draw on top of that. And the lining up all of the eye contact and then lining up all of the audio. So that stuff, that was phenomenal as it was. And now you go to 2000, and once again, he's innovating the technology used to make movies. And granted, looking back, Polar Express, is not like, it's a little scary looking at times. It's not the best thing, but somebody was going to bless you. Gesundheit. Salud. Somebody was going to have to take that step. And so as a person who had already innovated technology once and done it successfully, it's cool to see how he continued that trend.
I definitely agree with you on that, because there's that scene where Eddie's getting thrown out by the monkey. So like
That one was a little wonky looking.
But you got to think about it, like they had to create like a dolly system to like kind of like carry him through the air and then animate the monkey like throwing him out. So like just like in 1988, I understand most of you here may not remember 1988.
Yeah.
We're all aware of my age is showing. We all know that.
I was cooking.
You were cooking. You were cooking.
I wasn't here, but I was cooking.
I was riding my big wheels and watching my Saturday morning cartoons.
No, I was going to say the I don't know, just the level of like thought that has to, and planning that has to go into this sort of project. And pardon me. But no, the thing that really gets me is so Mary Poppins did like a similar thing where, live action animation, but like the level of like physicality that Roger Rabbit has is fucking sick. And all the times like he's pulling him by the shirt, and there's like, it's grabbing him, and even more so the way the lighting affects the animation is really, really amazing to see. It I think about Jessica Rabbit's singing scene, like when her introduction. There's a moment where she's standing in front of the spotlight and the camera is like behind her, and you see that the blackness around her and the light like wrapping around the animation. And oh my gosh, it's just so cool. And even prior to that, Daffy Duck playing the piano and you see his reflection animated into it. It's just like, it's so, the level of care that they put into selling this idea of like, no, they are in the physical world. Like there's only like a couple of times that like it feels like a little wonky, but for the most part, like it sells really, really well. And it's like so cool to see. And I don't know, I mean, I grew up watching Looney Tunes Back in Action like on repeat. It was like one of my favorite movies. So like this is like, I don't know, there's something about seeing like cartoon characters interacting in the real world that like is very appealing to me already. So great pick. Thank you.
For me, in reference to what you're saying, the scene that does it for me is the scene where Eddie is with Roger Rabbit inside of the detective office, because that scene spends a lot of time rotating around the room, and you can see Roger's like you're saying, you can see the shadows changing, the lighting, because the lighting changes from coming through the window slits, and you can like see it through that that scene. So like that scene, that's the scene that makes me feel the most that the tunes are actually like real, like they're really a part of the world. Like the whole movie, like obviously you get that feeling, but like that's the scene that like really like did it for me.
Two things I need to go back to both of your points about like the realism. One of the things that I thought was cool that I learned through like watching special features and such is that using those puppets that we were talking about allowed the animators to see where the shadows were supposed to land. And so that was a whole other thing where like some shots had human shadows or like physical shadows with an animation over it, or some shots they would draw the shadows in, but they knew where to do it from the trial run of stuff. So that was really interesting. But I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm not going to go far. You guys can keep me in check, but I just need to go down. I got to steal this from you, and I got to go down this road with you. It's not like a bad road, but it's an inquisitive road. So you said, sorry, I guess I got to pull myself in.
My favorite's probably Forrest Gump.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. But this is my off tangent.
Yeah.
You said growing up that the movie that you kind of lauded in your childhood was Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yes. I love that movie.
Now, I don't know if you're pretty tapped into stuff, so I'm not trying to like talk to you dumb. But for the people at home too, there has been the recent issue of the Looney Tunes animated features that Warner Brothers. Yeah,
I was actually talking to my mom about this previously. I'm so excited to go watch that movie in theaters.
absolutely. Shout out Ketchup Entertainment.
I mean, this is nothing new to Hollywood, but like in recent years with streaming, it's been happening a lot more where big production companies like Warner Brothers, Sony, whatever, they will put millions of dollars into a project and then pull the plug and never release it and use it as a tax write-off. I worked on an AMC show that did that. Like they canceled filming the show halfway through the first season. So we were left out, of like 2 or 3 months of work, and that, that adds up. That really fucking sucks. So, go watch Coyote versus Acme. It was on the cutting room floor.
Yep.
And then enough of us bitch and moaned about it. And also, just on top of my side tangent is like Victor Zaslav is a fucking evil piece of shit.
Yep.
I hate that guy. And he has been like slicing and gutting Warner Brothers for years, and especially their animation department. So, like, go watch animated movies. Go watch Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah.
That got saved, and it's going to be fucking sick.
But to my point, it's okay. I appreciate that. I value your sentiment on that. What on
Really both in now.
We're getting there, I promise. On Cody Central, I plugged the first catch-up movie, which was The Day the Earth, whatever that, I forget, the alien one.
Yeah.
I was plugging that every week on Cody Central, and so I had to watch it when it finally was available, and it was awesome. I loved it. But the reason I want to ask you about Back in Action is because prior to these Looney Tunes movies, these more recent ones, the most popular, so this obviously paved the way for a lot of other movies.
Yeah.
The next movie to kind of break precedent was Space Jam.
Yeah.
Space Jam obviously had a phenomenal impact on the world at large. And so there were plans to do more Space Jam movies. Like there was one with Tony Hawk that they were in line to do. They were going to do like different sports and do the Looney Tunes thing. The next movie that came out after Space Jam was Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yeah.
And not only did that devastate Brendan Fraser's career for a bit, but it also made them pull the plug entirely on the on the whole like Looney Tunes universe. And I think for me, like I was at the perfect age for Space Jam, but by the time Looney Tunes Back in Action came out, I was like in a weird like teenage place where it was like I'm too punk rock to go watch Looney Tunes. So it just kind of like never really entered my realm of viewing or whatever. Could you briefly tell me what it was about that movie that was like so special to you in your childhood?
It's first of all, it's really great set pieces, and like Yosemite Sam has a casino, and it's so funny, a lot of action, really like intriguing story. And I don't know, I just, we had it on DVD and I would watch it all the time as a kid. And I thought it was so funny. And I really liked, I always loved movies. So like, it was really cool to like, oh, like he's trying to be a stuntman. Like, Batman's in it briefly. Like, I don't know, there's just so much. I rewatched it last year and like, it still holds up. It's a good time. Like, they tried doing like some cool like 3D animation and stuff towards the end. And, like I don't know, people kind of I guess tanked it, but like it was cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot because it's always interesting to me when people like a movie that is like so like poorly regarded, right? And you know what I mean? And again, and like it was fortunate that you were at an age where that shit wouldn't have bothered you anyways. You just liked what you liked as a kid.
Exactly.
You don't get bothered with what you hear in reviews and what you find out about the people's real life or whatever. Luckily, Brendan Fraser seems pretty awesome. But
It's also like a cool spy movie too. They go to like
I want to
fairs,
watch
like,
that now.
paintings. Like it's and it's only like an hour and a half. It's a lot of fun.
So maybe if you have it,
I do. Yeah, I'll let you borrow it. I gotta find it.
maybe we'll do a Patreon episode or
Yeah, that'd be
something.
sick.
And all right, so that was my tangent. We're back. Thank you guys. And we're back. And you said, and you can just give me a thumbs up since you lost the mic, but Forrest Gump, you said favorite. Say that again.
Forrest Gump and Castaway.
Yeah. But this, I think this has to go up there too because it's just so fucking awesome. I don't know. Back to the Future is all right. Like I used to like it a lot when I was younger, but now I'm just like, I'm more interested in stuff like Forrest Gump and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I could dig that. All right.
It's funny when you like, talk about favorite like movies from Robert. It's like it's really hard for me because like each movie has something that happens in it that I love. Because like Back to the Future 3, when Doc makes the sniper rifle
Yeah.
that doesn't exist yet, like I just thought that was amazing.
I apologize that I got to interrupt the program. Looks like we've lost the camera feed. It looks like the no camera button is clicked.
Oh, it's definitely dark. There's 2 batteries in there.
So it is on.
So touch the base of it. How hot is it? Hot.
No. Yeah, it's turning back on now.
I think you still have to unclick that button. I don't know how that
Got no idea. That's the wildest thing I've ever seen.
guess it wouldn't be a Hellhound podcast without some fuck shit happening.
And we're back.
And we're back
Hey, can you
again.
edit that for us?
Well, I earned one of these.
Oh, absolutely. I earned one of those. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Well, we're already. It's crazy how fast these conversations go. Honestly,
I know, right?
It really is it really is something else. Oh, so let me ask you: do you guys remember what your first time seeing any Robert Zemeckis movie was?
I would have to say probably Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I think so. All of us are kind of in the same wavelength. So, what about for you?
Polar Express, dude. That was a Christmas time staple. Like can't remember the last time we've watched it, but like yeah, Polar Express was always big. That was huge in our house. Like Polar Express, Christmas Story, and Christmas Vacation were like the 3 like holy trinity of our Christmas movie rotation as a kid.
Well, then you should get on my little Christmas thing I like to do every year. It's the only Christmassy thing that I do every single year.
Yeah.
Smitty's in Tilton. They do a huge screening of Polar Express.
Really?
And when you buy your ticket, you get cookies and milk chocolate to watch the movie.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. But yeah, I think my first one's got to be Polar Express or like Forrest Gump if it was just on like in the background, when I was a kid.
I dig that. So this is kind of along the same lines, but a little more nuanced. Do you have a favorite directing work in general? Like, what is your favorite thing from Robert Zemeckis? You said kind of Back to the Future. Is that?
Back to the Future 2, I would say, is like my favorite movie by him. But
Yeah.
as, like for directing, I would have to say it would probably be Cocoon.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. And-
Because the filming, the acting, the story of it, like everything that goes through and through that movie is absolutely incredible. Like I love that movie from beginning to end. I can sit down and watch that movie at any point, which is crazy because it's not like you would think that I would pick like maybe a comedy or an action or something, but also What Lies Beneath
Yeah.
is phenomenal also. So here I go. I'm going with, I would have to say more of his thriller movies are more of my favorite director movies by.
I like that. I feel like What Lies Beneath is not discussed enough in like the grand scope of movies of that era, but that really was like a powerful movie when it came out. So that's cool. I respect that for sure.
It was one of the movies that I grabbed right off the shelf like the week it came out because I needed to see that movie. That was like one of those types of movies.
Yeah.
So that would be my pick. Is like those two movies would be my directorial picks.
My number one pick would obviously be Roger Rabbit for me. Like I was saying, I was like, I didn't know how to speak till I was 5, but I was like 4 years old, and my parents would just play this VHS tape and then rewind it and just play it, and I would just sit there and watch it like over and over and over again. Like I don't know what, and then I had the Roger Rabbit like doll that I still have, and like I would just sit there with it like watching the movie. Like I was just mesmerized by it, and I honestly think that had a lot to do with my love of movies anyways, because then throughout my childhood I like got into a habit of watching the pay-per-view channel. You would go to like channel like 99 or whatever it was, and they would just be playing trailers for movies all day. So I would just know all of the like quotes from popular movies I had never seen before. And I would just like be 6 years old quoting Jerry Maguire to my parents or something like that. But I like sincerely attribute my like unhealthy love of movies to how much I watched Roger Rabbit as a kid.
So it's funny that you bring up the speech thing. For me, Roger Rabbit, for me, growing up, I was born partially deaf, and I had tubes put in my ears, which caused me to not speak correctly. So growing up, I had to go to speech therapy.
Same.
So the way I could learn how to speak correctly. And yes, to this day, that's why I still have problems. But watching Roger Rabbit when he was like, please, like things like that in the movie, for me, who had like a speech problem, found it funny. Like it was okay. Like look at him. Like he's like it's okay. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of the like it's gonna be okay, like little thing. So that's probably also when I was younger, why I kind of fell for this movie, because it kind of showed me that it was okay.
My runner up, if I can tell you guys, is, and it's a runner up because I've discovered it later in life, obviously, but I was very fortunate to have HBO as a kid, and so I got to watch Tales from the Crypt, and Zemeckis was an executive producer on the entire show, but he also directed a handful of episodes. And there's an episode that he directed in particular that before I knew shit about like the people that made movies, I just loved old movies. And so he directed one of my favorite episodes I'm going to go into a little later in this. And I think because it was HBO in the 90s, that like the people that made Tales from the Crypt took a very cinematic approach to it, despite the fact that it was like a television program. And so that would definitely be my runner-up for sure.
Used to joke that Tales from the Crypt was the adult versions of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I loved those too. You guys have seen me wear my Are You Afraid of the Dark shit on the show here.
Yeah, that. I think because the love of one is why I love the other,
Yeah.
like, and vice versa.
And also, like, Twilight Zone has been a big thing in my life too. Like, I'm a sucker for a good anthology as well. So,
Because we don't finish till midnight, we're going to start calling ourselves the Midnight Society.
I'm down. Oh shit! All right. Well, we are getting close, anyways. Let me. I got a couple more. We'll try and go through these
What
quickly.
happens when the episodes are good?
Yeah, we're getting close, anyways. But in like one or two sentences, what is the most interesting thing about the live action animation duality of the joint we watched tonight?
I didn't point this out, but the combined of the two, part of like one of the scenes was when Eddie gets into the cab. Like to film him sitting down and then to animate the cab around him with Roger, like I know because what this movie did is why some of the movies we have now, and I'm so grateful for that, because without this, we wouldn't have the movies we have now and probably wouldn't be where we are with movies.
Yeah.
So, because of the live action filming, I'm super grateful because without it, we wouldn't be moving forward. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I did help Robert Zemeckis make this movie, by the way.
I know your boy Robbie, right?
Yeah, my boy Robbie. Jess, let me pose the same question to you. What do you feel like is the most interesting part of the duality of animation and live action?
All of it. It's just, especially for that year. So this movie was released shortly after I was actually born. So just to think about all the stuff that was going on then, and even like filming then, and stuff like that. Just to think that they're actually putting animation in. And to hear what your story was about how they actually made it, so it was just so interesting. I'm like, oh, so there was actually like a doll there, so that shadowing makes sense. I was like, that's pretty genius, especially for back then. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I just love it all. It's just one of my favorite movies.
I love that. Elliot, was there anything or what was the thing that stood out to you the most in the midst of watching this?
I'm not exactly sure what stood out the most. I just really enjoyed this film as a kid. It maybe kind of explains why I blurred the lines between cartoons and reality a bit too much.
Okay, we're gonna have to be careful about you out in the real world. You guys fucking just cross to the other side of the street when you're in the universe.
I think for me, I talked heavily about the technical aspects of this and just how like blown away I am. But for me, I think the thing that really sticks out is like the world building and the set design in this, and like the way that the characters interact, and the way that like the humans accept the the tunes. Like you can do whatever you want. Like and there's like this like kind of like the detective has like kind of like a tune racism sort of. He has a prejudice against them. Like he has a dude who killed his brother.
Yep.
So there is a realness to the relationship between the real world and the tunes that feels like there would be tune clubs where they're entertaining. Like it feels very, very well thought out. So I really love the world building and how much it embraces the relationship between the live action and the animated worlds.
I love that. Obviously I'm on the same wave as I think everybody in terms of the technical prowess of the movie just being like unparalleled. but also for me personally, I love film noir in general, and so this has like the most fun aspects and tropes of film noir, and also classic use of animation as well. They took all of the characters from like the historic archives, and you can see in certain shots that they chose to use like the 1940s version of that, like Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny or whatever. And that's because the movie takes place in 47. So the fact that they were that thoughtful and got people to animate that, and it was just like, seldom could I ever find a perfect movie. This is on the Mount Rushmore of perfect movies for me. Like,
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because they also referred to them as the Brooklyn Dodgers, not the LA Dodgers.
yeah,
So which means they had moved, which they had not moved by that point. So it's the small details that makes this movie.
well,
It's no different like Benny the Cab, like the way that he's drawn and designed, like it's like that 1950s
yeah.
cab, which is I think it's cool.
Well, and it's indicative of real world issues too, where like there is a huge, and obviously like being in New Hampshire, I don't have the real world experience to tell the story for these people, but like public transportation has been a huge issue on the West Coast for decades. And at one point it was flourishing and it was encouraged for people to utilize public transportation. And as corporate monopolies got bigger, they figured out that privatizing shit, you could, have a monopoly on transportation and force people to buy cars and build out highways that are going to take over. You know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff that they were,
That's going to cost you to ride on because you're not going to be paying attention.
Yep.
You're zipping by at 75 miles an hour.
yeah.
So
Um,
I was gonna say I just got back from like LA.
yeah, we were talking about it in the car.
California, and like, yeah, I was like, holy shit, like LA, like it's like, okay, let's hang out in this one area for like an hour until we have to go drive 45 minutes to go hang out in this other area. Like there's buses and stuff, there's no trains, there's nothing, like it's crazy, and like yeah, I don't know, but yeah, very, very disappointing. Like I wish I could say I enjoyed hanging out in LA more, but like there was no way to like get around, and I didn't want to rack up Uber bills, so
Yeah, I don't blame you.
that's how I feel about the Uber bills when I go to Vegas.
Right?
1.5 miles, $32.
All right. We're in the final stretch here.
Yeah.
Shotgun question.
Sure.
What would be the first Zemeckis film you chose to introduce somebody who had never seen his works before?
No, I'm gonna be honest. That's a tough question because it's whether I want to show them like comedy adventure. So like that would be like the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or like the Back to the Future series, or would I want to go a different route and go like Contact, or What Lies Beneath, which is like a total different kind. So I guess if I had to pick and put one in front of somebody, probably What Lies Beneath.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
That would be the one.
That's
I
a
think
cool
that's-
answer.
I think that would be the answer.
I dig that. That's really cool. Jess, what about you?
I kind of feel the same way. It would have to depend on the movie or the genre that they're kind of looking for. I'm like trying to peek at Danny's like screen to see what other movies he's done, because I only really know like Back to the Future, Roger Rabbit.
Cheaters. What you gonna
No, I'm
do?
actually trying to figure out why he's listed on some of these other movies, where I know that he wasn't director.
He's a producer,
Is that what it would be?
probably. He probably did the same thing that Spielberg did for him. You know what I mean?
So then it looks like
Oh, camera's down again. sorry to our viewers at home.
Is there a switch that like
The camera
turns it
itself
from?
went down. The camera's off. Shows that it's off.
Well, sorry guys, we almost made it. We almost made it a whole episode.
There's 2 full batteries in there, and it would be in the top.
And it lasted last week with 2.5 hours.
No,
No, I'm just saying, like, if it died.
If it was gonna die, it would have been last week. And
Yeah.
we had a 2 hour and 30-minute episode.
Right?
So it probably needs to be shut off and turned back on now.
What's the deal with technology?
And then it's gonna ask you.
Sending his kids an idea. Yeah.
You have to hit the middle button and say okay.
Well, so for anybody that's still listening at home, the first movie that I would have picked, or that I would pick to, oh, there we go. We're back. All right, camera, just hold out. We're almost done. Come on.
Keep going, Cody. What were you saying?
The movie that I would pick
Top right corner.
as my recommendation would be Forrest Gump. And the reason I would pick Forrest Gump is because if I wanted somebody to understand Zemeckis as a filmmaker, I feel like showing his ability to focus on story and character first allows you to really grasp hold of what he's capable of, and then you start putting all of like the innovative technology on top of it, and then it's like, oh, like, because there's certain filmmakers, you know, I don't need to name names, but like there's certain people that when you talk about their movies, it's like, oh, that's the guy that does the explosions, or the guy that does, you know, like robots or whatever, and it's like it's all about the visual thing. And so I think what makes Zemeckis so special is that he didn't take away from the fabric of the story by trying to innovate on the way that he shared the story with people visually.
Oh wait, are we still doing shotgun question? I got a little lost when I was guessing camera.
First Zemeckis
Oh.
movie you would show somebody.
Forrest Gump. Was that what you just said? Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I was out of it for a second trying to adjust that thing. But yeah, I just feel like there's just so much there, and like, you know, I don't know. Like Sinners feels like a '90s movie. The way there's like a little bit of something for everybody, and Forrest Gump is very much that movie too. So yeah, I agree with you on Forrest Gump. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. What do you think? The question was, what would be the first Zemeckis movie that you were going to show somebody if they had never seen any of his movies before?
I don't think I'm qualified to show anyone anything besides this movie because I haven't watched the other ones recently enough to remember much. When I
Okay.
watch films, I tend to share my love by getting excited about certain scenes or certain animation techniques or such that are coming out. I just thought this movie was good.
I'll take that. Let me get, you guys got energy for 3 more? You think, Mr. Camera, you got 3 more questions in you?
Don't jinx it.
So
3 more questions and the other stuff.
and the closing segment. All right, you know what? Let's make it 2 questions.
Well, I just don't want to lie to the camera.
Right.
All right, 2 questions and some segments. If you were doing a Zemeckis double feature, what 2 movies would you pick?
What Lies Beneath, and sucks because I want to say Back to the Future 2, but you can't do Back to the Future 2 without Back to the Future 1. So
I mean, you're programming it, so it's whatever you want to
I know,
watch.
but then I feel bad if nobody's seen 1 yet and they get into 2 and they're like, what is going on here?
That's fair.
But those are
What Spark Notes do you have over there? You got like Wikipedia pulled up with all the movies or something?
No, it's just Google.
Oh, just Google.
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
There's a movie I questioned his involvement with, so I brought it up.
And
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, what is that?
13 Ghosts.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what his involvement is.
I knew he had some kind of involvement with it, but I couldn't figure out, so I was just
Yeah.
Googling it. and it just happened to be Robert Zemeckis' page. So,
And I was
but
like,
then you were like cheaters, so I stopped looking. And now my ADHD is taking over, and I can't get my answer, and I'm freaking out mentally.
I mean, you can look at it.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably just produced it.
it's already there. He probably just produced that. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's
Because
still,
I've noticed that he has a lot of involvement with Steve Beck.
Well, Steve Beck.
He's the director of 13.
Oh,
which one
okay.
is What Lies Beneath? That's what I don't.
Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Show me the cover. Without knowing the other movies, I hate to say it because it keeps me my answer this whole time is Roger Rabbit and Back to the Future.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a great movie. What Lies Beneath? That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
I know.
I'm gonna have to say Inferno Drug and Back to the Future as well.
All right, a little bit of an action-packed adventure. I can get behind that.
I'm gonna go with Forrest Gump and Castaway
I can dig that.
because I think Castaway just has something like really deeply emotional about it,
Yeah.
and I think it's really great acting ranges from the great Tom Hanks.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's like the raw Tom Hanks double feature right there.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna have to go with.
I dig that. I love that. My plan for the double feature would be the LA noir theme, and so it would be Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Beowulf.
My other Beowulf. Did me dirty. No, it would be an episode of Tales from the Crypt that's called You Murderer, and it's about a guy who has committed some crimes and gets a surgeon to change his face to look like Humphrey Bogart, and it ends up coming back to haunt him. So it's a really cool episode, and Zemeckis directed it personally, and so they use like almost like a hologram of Humphrey Bogart's face throughout the thing. It's really cool.
So you wrote an episode about you before you knew it was about you?
Pretty much. Pretty much, man. All right. And so final thoughts before we go away. Any thoughts on Robert Zemeckis as a auteur and your rating for Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
My rating for this movie would be a 4.5. This is damn near a perfect movie in my book. I mean, the things that had to happen for this movie to get made, the licensing, the franchising, him obviously being connected with Spielberg absolutely helped. But his filming techniques, the things that he's done, has pushed movies forward for years after. So he will always be an influence and a pioneer in my eyes of filmmaking. And 4 out of 5 for Roger Rabbit, or 4.5 for Roger Rabbit, man. That's a great movie.
I'll take it. Jess, you're in the hot seat.
I would actually give this 5. It's one of my favorite movies. The nostalgia. And I wanted to kind of touch base on this earlier. The combination of the Disney and the Warner Brothers
Yep.
is incredible.
And was never done again.
Exactly. What?
It has been done again by Steven Spielberg.
Take the microphone, enlighten us.
It has been done. It has been redone, and in much bigger money amount. And the movie was Ready Player One.
I never saw that.
But it licensed the franchise.
Wasn't that a movie that came out in like 2019 or 2020 or something?
I want to say around there, yeah.
Okay, so it took almost 25 years before anybody was able to
All I
cough
would
up the
say
budget
was
to do it again.
Spielberg helped make Who Roger Rabbit happen with all the franchising, but it was another Spielberg movie to make it happen again. So he pulled in all his favors again because it was like the Iron Giant was used, Terminator was used,
Yeah.
the Ninja Turtles, the Back to the Future franchise was used, Godzilla was used, King Kong was used, Bigfoot. Like, it was a lot of franchises, and he spent a lot of money to make it happen. But I'm okay.
Well, hold on. All right. Sorry. Before we get off this tangent, I just need to know. I'm gonna have any of you guys seen this or just you? Ready Player One. You saw it. All right. So I'm leaving you two out of it. Should I watch this? Will I enjoy it? Yes or no?
I think so. Yes, I think you will.
Should I watch this? Will I enjoy it? Yes or no?
Read the book.
What if I just am like, what if I'm just so thirsty for nostalgia? Is it gonna satiate?
And that's why, yeah, I'd say.
All right. All right.
It's the camera.
Um.
It went 2.5 hours last week with no problem.
It's protesting.
And you did Monday.
Yeah, and I do Monday every Monday with no problem.
Well, such is life.
Yeah.
Well.
We learn each week. It's all right.
All right.
But the point I was trying to make with that was, back when I was a kid, I didn't make how special the connection that was having the two different type of cartoons together, and it's something today that I, from the past, what I thought of today was that was so cool. Like, you're not gonna see Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny hanging out like we were before and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see that today and think about that type of stuff. So.
Letterboxd rating, because I know I was looking at. I could read it. What was the question?
It's been a weird day. For nostalgia's sake, I'm giving it.
All right, I love it. 2 5s. Let's go. Tyler's behind the camera, but here he goes. He's coming around. Tyler, what you got cooking?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
You said Robert Zemeckis is an auteur. I don't believe in the auteur filmmaker, especially at this scale. It's too technical for it to be just one guy's singular vision.
I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any filmmaker is an auteur. I think that sort of idea is bullshit. It takes dozens of people to craft a movie, and director is just one job. It's not the key thing. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Roger Rabbit, fucking rules, love it. Good choice, good movie, good episode. You should watch the show.
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
Oh,
retort. You looked like you were about to retort or something. So funny enough, I've actually already reviewed this movie on Letterboxd before. It was probably one of the first movies I did on Letterboxd, and I gave it 5 stars. So you can find that on my Letterboxd page. But I will give you I'll give you a movie of the week this week before we start hitting the track out of here. So we've talked about this on older episodes of Hellhound Film Club. I love French New Wave. I love Jean-Luc Godard. One of my favorite movies is Breathless. And so it took me a long time to get around to watching this, but I finally watched Breathless, the 1983 remake, which was directed by Jim McBride. The original Breathless is one of my favorite films, needless to say, so I was a bit hesitant about a remake or even a reinterpretation. This one turned out to be a fun watch, and it was pretty enjoyable throughout. The scenery, the setting, the color palettes, the shot choices. There is a lot of cool aesthetic imparted upon this adaptation that's worth taking in here. Unfortunately, I don't think Richard Gere was the best choice for this role, in my opinion. While he was fine, he certainly didn't exude the type of authenticity that Jean-Paul Belmondo does in the original. This felt a lot more forced. Valerie Kaprisky was phenomenal, however. It was cool that they found a French actress to tie it back to the original, and I felt like she carried on the traits of Gene Seberg very authentically while also bringing something original too. By no means was this movie like a direct copy. It's very hard to say how often I would rewatch this, but I will definitely give it another chance in the future. So that was a flat 3 out of 5 stars for me. Like I said, though, I do review all of the movies that we watch here at Film Club, and I also review all of the movies that I watch on my own. And there's a lot more interesting people than me on Letterboxd, too, so you should get involved. And if you are interested in learning more about it, here is just a little clip about what's going on and how to get involved with Letterboxd. All right, before we get out of here, we're going to share some screenings and event listings with you guys. As always, if you've got any event screenings or any like local film events or festivals or anything of the sort, please shoot us an email at hellhoundfilmclub@gmail.com. Drop a comment on one of our videos, let us know the information, and we'll be happy to include it in our event run. Danny, how you feeling? You want me to kick this off? You want me to kick this off? You want to rock, paper, scissors for it? How you feeling?
Kick it off. Let's go.
All right. So, first things first, this may have passed by the time you guys watch this, but this is for all the people that are on Patreon as well as the people that are here tonight. As you can see, we have a sold-out crowd of about 1,700 people watching this with us. Thank you for filling out the theater tonight. Friday, May 8th. Empire Records movie night party and screening presented by Boston Landing at Roadrunner in Boston, Mass. Boston Landing Movie Night featuring Empire Records kicks off the 2026 Movie Night series on Friday, May 8th, 2026 with a full 90s alt-rock takeover at Roadrunner. Get ready for the cult classic film, throwback music, and a night that would make Rex Manning proud. 5 o'clock is when the pre-party begins. Kick off the night with a live DJ spinning iconic 90s grunge and alternative rock hits, full cash bar, food available for purchase, and complimentary popcorn while supplies last. Expect immersive throwback moments throughout the venue inspired by raw, music-driven spirit of the era. Come dressed in your best 90s alt-rock look and fully lean into the nostalgia. 7 o'clock is when the movie starts screening. Settle in for the cult classic that captured angst, humor, and the unforgettable soundtrack of the 90s alternative scene. It's a 21 plus event. General admission is free, but advanced registration through Eventbrite is required. Seating for general admission is first come, first served.
Friday, May 15th, a new lead 55th anniversary 4K restoration presented by Cinematograph Film at the IFC Center at 323 6th Street Avenue, New York, New York. This is the first theatrical run of the Cinematograph 4K restoration of this 70s critical success. A New Leaf is a 1971 American black comedy film written and directed by Elaine May in her directorial debut, based on the short story The Green Heart by Jack Ritchie. It stars May along with Walter Matthau, Jack Weston, George Rose, and James Coco. In this film, a New York City playboy, Henry Graham, has ran out of money. He decides to find a wealthy bride and finds a shy Paris, Henrietta Bull. He takes control of her finances after their wedding and fires her dishonest staff. He carefully plans to poison her, but ends his own best laid plans go awry.
Sunday, May 17th is Video Paradise 2, the VHS swap meet, presented by the Analog Basement at Clover Road Brewing in Hudson, Massachusetts. They say the sequel is almost never as good as the first one, while Video Paradise 2 is ready to blow the trope out of the water. Analog Basement has assembled 6 of the best VHS and physical media market vendors in the New England area for another Sunday afternoon of slinging tapes at Clover Road Brewing. Whether you're a seasoned collector, restarting a collection, or brand new to the hobby, there will be something for everyone. You got a special certain genre you look for when you're tape hunting? Action, horror, comedy, kung fu? They'll have it all. Join them May 17th from 12 to 5 p.m. for a crazy list of vendors, and I might even try and convince the old lady to make the trip out to that, because that seems like pretty gnarly time.
17.
Her birthday.
Oh, you're gonna convince. Good luck.
I mean, I didn't say it was gonna happen. I just said if we had nothing going on, just might toss it out there.
This is Sunday.
Yeah, it's a good day.
It's a good day. Motorcycle. So, Friday, May 22nd, I Love Boosters, a theatrical premiere in theaters nationwide, including Coolidge Corner Cinema in Cambridge, Massachusetts. In the return of Boots Riley, nearly 8 years removed from his highly lauded Sorry to Bother You, I Love Boosters follows a crew of professional shoplifters who take aim at a cutthroat fashion week. Starring an all-star cast including Keke Palmer, Don Cheadle, Demi Moore, Taylor Page, and more.
June 5th, there'll be Train Spotting 4K screenings presented by Sony Pictures Classics at theaters nationwide. Set in an underbelly of Edinburgh, the city fathers never dreamed of, Train Spotting is the story of Mark and his so-called friends, a bunch of losers, liars, psychos, thieves, and junkies. Hilarious but harrowing, the film charts the disintegration of their friendship as they proceed, seemingly inevitably towards self-destruction. Mark alone has the insight and opportunity to escape his fate, but then again, does he really want to choose life?
Thursday, June 25th, Shaun of the Dead, part of the Thirsty Thursday series at Sumner Theater, bringing your favorite movies bars to the big screen. Shaun is a 30-something loser with a dull, easy existence. When he's not working at an electronics store, he lives with his slogan best friend Ed in a small flat on the outskirts of London. The only unpredictable element in his life is his girlfriend Liz, who wishes desperately for Shaun to grow up and become a man. When the town is inexplicably overran with zombies, Shaun must rise to the occasion and protect both Liz and his mother. At 7:30 at Sumnerville Theater, and for more details and other films in this series, visit www.sumnervilletheater.com.
Sunday, July 5th, Citizen Kane 85th Anniversary, presented by Fathom Entertainment at theaters nationwide. A boy abandoned by his parents inherits a fortune, builds a global newspaper empire, and aspires to become president of the United States, but he loses everything over an affair with an untalented nightclub singer. This fascinating story unfolds through the eyes of the people important to the tycoon, each showing a different aspect of Citizen Kane. The special 85th anniversary release includes exclusive insight from Leonard Maltin. If you live in our area of southern New Hampshire or in Massachusetts, there are screenings that day at AMC in Methuen, Apple Cinemas in Merrimack and Hooksett, Showcase Cinema in Lowell and Woburn, Cinemark in Salem, New Hampshire, and plenty of other theaters nationwide as well. Go to fathomentertainment.com to find a screening near you.
Friday, July 17th, the Odysseus 70mm theatrical premiere in theaters nationwide, including on 70mm at Coolidge Corner Cinema in Cambridge, Massachusetts. A mystical action epic from master of cinema Christopher Nolan, shot across the world, bringing Homer's foundational saga to scenes, starring Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita
Nyong'o,
Zendaya, and Charlize Theron.
And the New Hampshire Film Festival, October 15th through 18th, throughout downtown Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Submissions are open now. The New Hampshire Film Festival is an annual fall event located in Portsmouth, New Hampshire that unites professional filmmakers, screenwriters, and film industry experts with film lovers. Drawing thousands of attendees annually, NHFF is the region's premier film festival and is an integral resource for local and national industry professionals who return each year. Movie Maker magazine named the New Hampshire Film Festival on its annual list of 50 film festivals worth the entry fee, celebrating festivals that serve movie makers and audiences in some of the best destinations in the world. For more details, visit www.nhfilmfestival.com. And we're going to run through some theater shoutouts real quick here. So, as always, some of our favorite theaters. If you have a favorite theater or an independent movie theater near you that deserves some love and a shout out every week, keep listening and make sure you check out those theaters. We got the Coolidge Corner Theater in Brookline, Massachusetts. The Coolidge Corner Theater is New England's most successful independent nonprofit cinema, built as a church in 1906. It was redesigned as an Art Deco movie palace in 1933 and has never closed its doors to the public since then. Located in the heart of Brookline, Massachusetts, it was community's first movie theater and now a nonprofit foundation since 1989. It celebrates the experience of cinema by presenting the finest international, documentary, animated, and independent film selections and series.
We've got the Bridal Theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The Bridal shows the best in classic, cutting-edge, foreign, and art house films. They also show first-run films and new releases of classic films, but their specialty is a rapport programming format consisting of films from a particular director, genre, or subject shown over a course of a week or on the same weekday throughout the month.
We've also got the Wilton Town Hall Theater in Wilton, New Hampshire. Originally a silent movie house, the theater has been in operation nearly continuously since 1912. Now they show free movie screenings multiple nights a week. Follow them on Facebook or join their email list for an update on screenings.
Milford Drive-Thru Theater in Milford, New Hampshire. Old-fashioned two-screen drive-in movie theater with a snack bar and a remote control car track. Originally established in 1958, it has been family-owned and operated since 1969.
And shout out to the Mendon Twin Drive-In Theater in Mendon, Massachusetts. Mendon Twin Drive-In was built in 1953 and opened June 14th, 1954. The second movie screen was added in 1998, and it's now a New England institution along with one of the top drive-ins in the country, sitting on nearly 16 acres of beautiful tree-lined land.
Wellfleet Drive-In Theater, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The only drive-in theater on Cape Cod located in Wellfleet, Massachusetts along Route 6. The complex offers first-run double features in season with other attractions such as indoor cinema, a flea market, a miniature golf course, and restaurants. This drive-in is also one of the venues for the annual Provincetown International Film Festival in Provincetown, Massachusetts.
Shout out to the Somerville Theater in Somerville, Massachusetts. The Somerville Theater is an independent movie theater and concert venue in the Davis Square neighborhood of Somerville, Massachusetts. More than 100 years old, the Somerville Theater started off as a vaudeville house and has remained a movie theater since.
That's right. This is the funny one.
Shout out to Canonic in Portland, Maine. Canonic is a non-profit micro-cinema dedicated to watching films projected on analog formats. They preserve and present essential 16mm and 35mm film. They screen films on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Visit canonic.org for screenings and showtimes.
The Circle Cinema Theater in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where The Outsider opens, was filmed. The Circle Cinema first opened in 1928 as a silent movie theater. Over the years, it changed many times, showing all kinds of movies and going through many owners. For a while, the theater was even closed and the building sat empty. In 2002, Clark Weens, along with a group of supporters, formed the Circle Cinema Foundation to bring the theater back to life. They bought the building and reopened it in 2004 as a nonprofit movie theater. Since then, Circle has grown and added more screens and a bigger lobby, and even brought back its original 1928 light work.
And shout out to the Admiral Twin Drive-In in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Admiral Twin Drive-In is a historic movie theater located just off Route 66 in Tulsa, Oklahoma that has been showing movies since 1951 and has been host to many local events, including being one of the featured locations in previous Hellhound Film Club episode, The Outsiders, from director Francis Ford Coppola. And as always, send your event listings and theater recommendations to hellhoundfilmclub@gmail.com. Now, we must share our screen so that somebody can win this poster right here that we are going to share with somebody. This is the poster. So we got the names of a couple people here. Let's throw some of these schmucks in there just for
Throw Shiz and Mike in there.
yeah. Mike, Sean. Yeah, all right. Let's see what we got going on here. Spin that wheel. It's going home with Jess. Jess is gonna have like a collection of these, dude. Oh, let's go. So let's show them one more time. It's the Robert Zemeckis Appreciation Hour custom 1 of 1 12 by 18. We need more of you guys to show up to these screenings so that you guys can come take some of our free stuff as well. Well, what a night. What a wild ride.
It has always been, because, you know, like Monday night, every night's a little different.
Ain't that the truth?
I can't believe that little fan makes that much of a difference.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh my
Oh, there we go again.
Told you.
All right, guys. Well, we're almost out of here. Let's fucking speed out of here.
Yep, let's roll the So, as always, I'd like to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you can see us.
Even if you can't see us, just listen.
Well, here we go. So we're going to say thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe to our main YouTube channel, Hellhound Publishing, and subscribe to our newest channel, Hellhound Film Club, dedicated to this show, as well as bonus clips, exclusive bonus episodes, interviews, and more. Those subs and comments really take us places.
Consider being a part of our Patreon community for just $1 a month for exclusive and early access to Hellhound Film Club, as well as all of the other podcasts, music, and book releases from Hellhound Publishing that are going to make me blow my brains out. Since 2018, you can join and help support us, and maybe we can get some equipment that'll stay on for the whole time, and I can contribute to making the show better somehow. If you guys just throw $1 a month, we will give you all the stuff that we make, and it'll all be a lot better. So help us help you make a wonderful show. Go to the best website on earth, patreon.com/Hellhound Publishing. You will get film club episodes before anybody on YouTube does. You'll get ad-free episodes of shows that we can provide ad-free to. You're going to get early music releases. You get all the music releases from the record label weeks to months ahead of time sometimes. You get access to our entire back catalog of Patreon stuff since 2018. There's shows on there that have never seen the light of day. There's exclusive content that's only made for Patreon. So please head over to Patreon. Consider supporting us for just $1 a month or whatever you want. But it just starts at $1 a month. Patreon.com/Hellhound Publishing.
And don't forget, you can join us here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Spot in downtown Nashua, New Hampshire, for our free movie screening and live recording of these episodes. That's Wednesday nights at 217 Main Street, Nashua, New Hampshire. Come down, watch a flick, grab a drink, eat well with some good friends, and don't forget
the popcorn.
good night, world.